Hey, what is up, guys? I'm gonna be doing a deck profile today for my ZW Utopia deck. It's not a bad deck. It's not always the most consistent, but it's still pretty good. It's 40 card deck. Basically, the main point of this deck is to get this guy, this mofo over here, out on the field and equip him with all the ZW weapons and just like OTK your opponent or just wear him down and win the duel eventually. Because, I mean, Utopia gets up to ridiculous amounts of attack. Let's just get right into the deck profile. So I'm running one ZW Azura Strike. You can equip it to Utopia. He gains 1,000 attack points, and it lets you attack over all the monsters. So a lot of times, you'll get Utopia out, and you'll have everything equipped, and people like to stall, hoping they draw into something that might help them. So with this, you just attack over all their monsters, and they can't stall as much. So it's just a really good card. I'm running two ZW Lightning Blades. This card's really good. If Utopia were to be destroyed by a card effect, you can just get rid of this instead, and Utopia won't be destroyed. And it offers protections for any other Seeksel weapons. As long as this is equipped to Utopia, other Seeksel weapons you control, doesn't matter if they're equipped to Utopia or not, they can't be destroyed by card effects. So let's say you have a Leo Arms open in the field, you don't have it equipped to Utopia. If it were to they target it by some card effect, it won't get destroyed because this is still on the field and equipped to Utopia. And then I'm running two Tornado Bringers. Tornado Bringer and Lightning Blade combo well together. Tornado Bringer prevents Utopia from being targeted by card effects, so you get Lightning Blade and Tornado Bringer equipped, and Utopia becomes a giant beat stick that can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, so it's really good. And if Utopia were to be destroyed by battle, if something actually got a bigger beat stick than Utopia out there, you can just get rid of him and Utopia won't be destroyed. So like they use Honest, which I also run in this deck, they use Honest on your Utopia, you can just get rid of the Tornado Bringer and Utopia will still be alive. Anyways, going on to this, Honest, I run him because I have a lot of lights. Utopia's a light monster and you almost always get him out, so Honest is a really good hand trap. And he's also level 4, so if you need to overlay with him, you can. That's always an option. Running two Effect Veilers, also for the hand traps. You kind of need to. And also it's a tuner, so I do run the one Synchro, which I'll get into later. But yeah, and then for my last hand trap, I run the one Gores, because I run, besides the Seeksel weapons, I literally run no back row in this deck, so Gores is always a viable option. And that pretty much does it for the hand traps and the Seeksel weapons. Going on to the actual main deck. We're running 3 Goblinbergs. Goblinberg, really good card. You normal summon him, and then you can special summon another level 4 or lower monster from your hand. So basically, it's an instant rank 4. So, which is good because, again, you want to get this guy out as quickly as possible, and you want to equip the weapons to him. And Goblinberg over here combos even better with Star Drawing, which we do run at 3 because it is necessary. Star Drawing is insanely good in this deck. When you overlay into an XYZ monster, you get to draw a card, and also it works for rank 4 or rank 5 monsters. So basically you can go either into Utopia or Leo Arms, which we'll talk about in a moment. So Star Drawing is too good in this deck basically. And then there are other monsters running 3 Tin Goldfishes, same reason I run Goblinberg. It's just an instant rank 4 monsters, too good. And then for draw power, 2 Sacred Cranes. I want to run him at 2 because he doesn't speed up the deck. He does give it draw power, but he does nothing to for the actual speed. It's not like he's special summoning himself or anything. So 2 is pretty good number. And that pretty much does it for the level 4s. For the level 5s, I run, running 3 Photon Slashers. He's really good. Basically, there's an XYZ monster on the field. Doesn't matter if it's on your side of the field or your opponent's side of the field, but as long as there's an XYZ monster, hang on, the camera's a bit blurry. As long as there's an XYZ monster, you can just special summon him in defense mode. And this guy is usually what opens up the plays for Leo Arms. So he's really good in this deck. And then 2 Solar Windjammers. I used to run Cyber Dragon, but Solar Windjammer's a lot faster because usually I just I like for first turns, it's really good because it special summons itself, and I can overlay quickly into my Leo arms and search out the weapons, which you're gonna want to do because you want to you want to get Utopia out with everything as fast as possible. Be careful when you're using him though, because if you leave him out for more than one turn, he will up a level and he's just gonna be dead on your field, and you don't want that. And then I do run the one Summoner Monk. I only run one because I'm not always drawing into spells, so running two would be kind of useless. So one's a pretty good number. Like in my build, one's a pretty good number for Summoner Monk. And that pretty much does it for all the monsters. It's a pretty big monster count. And for the spells, I'm running 3 instant fusions. And in case you don't have whatever monster, if you don't have like the monsters you need to overlay into whatever XYZ monster you want, this is a really good backup plan. And yeah, and then I'm also running 3 mystical space typhoons because I don't like back row. If the process to get out Utopia with everything can be disrupted pretty easily, so like by something like a bottomless or compulse, so you don't want that. So 3 MSTs is pretty good. And I'm running 2 rank up Barian Swords. They're targets for Summoner Monk, and also I can go into the Utopia Ray V, which we'll talk about later. But it's not a bad card. 1 Rhoda, search out the Golembergs. 1 Book of Moon, pretty standard. And Dark Hole, for obvious reasons. And that pretty much does it for the spells. For the traps, I just run because you don't really need to run traps in this deck, so I just run standard stuff. Bottomless Trap Hole, Compulsory Evacuation Device, and 1 Trap Stun. I might put in a second one later, but this is how I have it for now. And that pretty much does it for the main deck. It's perfect 40. Not a bad deck. Try it out. See if you like it. Make any changes to it if you want. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted to play it, but yeah, it's pretty standard, but it works. And for the extra deck, I'm running not 1, not 2, but 3 Utopias. He's the boss monster. He is basically what the deck revolves around now. So yeah, running him at 3 is pretty good. I mean, why wouldn't you run him at 3? It's not like he's something expensive that you can only run at 1 or 2, And then I'm running 2 number C39 Utopia Rays. You can overlay. You can use Utopia as an overlay and just get him out. I don't usually ever really go into him, but he's there. And I've actually been in a few duels where I've actually gotten him out, like when I had less than 1,000 points and I actually could get off his effect. So it's like a backup plan. Running 2 Utopia Ray Vs, just 2, because I do have the rank up Barian Force, and I'm actually thinking about getting rid of one of these and putting a Utopia Ray Victory, but I still need to order that. So in the meantime, I'm just running two of these guys. He's really good. He's basically Volcasaurus on steroids, because he can attack, because he can destroy your monster. Your opponent takes not the original attack, just the attack period. So they're powered up by something, they're taking that full damage, and he can still attack. So he's really good. I'm running 2 CW Leo arms for obvious reasons. This is what searches out the Sexo weapons. Usually, a lot of times you'll use Star Drawing to go into him, or you'll use the Solar Windjammer or Photon Slash or something instant fusion. But yes, and then you can equip it to Utopia too for a huge attack boost. So he's just really all around really good. And then for our fusions, 2 Flame Swordsmen, because he's level 5. It doesn't really matter what you run for your level 5 fusions. I just run Flame Swordsman because, he's Flame Swordsman. He's a big-ass sword. And then, 2 Carbonala Warriors for my level 4s. Again, doesn't matter what level 4 fusions you run, as long as they're level 4. You can overlay into Utopia pretty easily. So, I just picked Carbonala Warrior. He's pretty good. And then, our one Synchro ally, Justice Catastor. Because I do have the effect veilers. He's a pretty good backup monster. He's like one of the best synchros in the game, in my opinion. And not only that, but since he's a level 5, you can overlay into Leo arms using them as a material, which isn't bad at all. So he's got multi-purposes in this deck, so it's pretty good. And the 1 token, because I do run Gores. And that pretty much does it for my Sexo Weapon Utopia deck. You can put in some Photon Thrashers instead of the Cranes. I used to have them, but I like the Sacred Crane because of the draw power. But Photon Thrasher would speed up the deck, and the deck already has some draw power anyways because of Star Drawing. But yeah, Thrasher's not a bad option. And you can run the Unicorn Spear to negate monster effects. That's always good because, you know, DD Warrior Lady, nobody uses her anymore, but she is still a thing. So, or any other annoying monster effects you might want to watch out for. What I didn't like about this is that you can only equip it to Utopia Ray V. So if you already had the regular Utopia out with all the weapons, I mean, you wouldn't want to get rid of that. So that's what I didn't like about the Unicorn Spear. Other than that, though, it is a pretty good card. Soul Release is always an option. Look, it's a magic card. You see? Soul Release, it's just more hate towards Chaos Dragons or Light Sworns or anything like that. Decks that use the graveyard, basically. Soul Release is just a very bad card for them. It's a good card to side. You can also put in a Torrential Tribute. I personally don't like it. I don't like destroying my own monsters. I do run that in some other decks, but in this deck, I don't like it so much. Oh, you can also run... You can try Wind Up Shark. Wind Up Shark's not bad either. He can change his levels from... He can either increase or decrease his level once per turn. So you basically, it's a free Utopia or Leo arms. And there's already a Wind Up monster. If the Wind Up monster was normal summon that turn, you can special summon him. But I don't run Wind Up ZW, so that's why I haven't put him. I have tried playing with them. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. I just like this build better. So again, tell me what you guys think in the comments below, if you would make any changes, or, you know, how you think of the deck. And yeah, I'll be signing out now.